Right, our next step is taking our ledger accounts and using those to produce our final trial balance. So first of all, I've got our trial balance here. And notice I've dated it as at the 7th of March because that's the final date of this accounting period. It's as at because it's like taking a photograph of the business as at exactly that date. It's not a summary of things, it's what's happening at this date. So for example, on that date, the bank balance is $5,830. On the 8th of March, it may well be different as more transactions are processed in and out of the bank. So it's as at the 7th of March. So what we've got to do is we've got to look at whether the ledger accounts have a debit balance or whether they have a credit balance. Everything that has a debit balance, remember, goes on the debit or left-hand side of the trial balance, and everything that has a credit balance will go on the right-hand side or credit side of the trial balance. So what we do is we just type in the name of the account and then put it in. So the first one is the bank, and that's got a 5830 debit balance, so it goes there. GST has got a 1153 credit balance, so we're putting it on the credit side. Shop fittings is a debit balance. I'm writing it on the debit side of my trial balance, left-hand side, 500, and the loan is a credit balance of 6500. Inventory, even if they haven't had anything happen to them, they still go into the trial balance. It's a 500 debit balance. Capital is credit. Going to go on the right hand side, and capital is 400. Purchases is there. Let's go to scroll down a little. That is a $5,000 debit. Cake sales has got a credit balance. So we're going to put on the right hand side. That's 4980. Going down further, we've got drawings, and that is 3. And then we've got cone sales. It's a credit balance, so once again on the right hand side, 33,140. We've got rent there, which is debit, and of 3,500. Wages next to it is also a debit, so that's 14,750. We've got electricity of 2,000. We have office equipment, and it doesn't matter what order we're putting them into the trial balance either. So don't be stressed that you haven't put them in the same order that your accounts are. Advertising is 600 debit. Interest expense is also a debit, so that's 420. We've got bank fees of 85. And the last one is interest received of 35. And you'll notice here it's called a trial balance, and the reason for that is that it balances. See, 61,208 and 61,208. Now, if they don't balance, then it's a signal that you've done something wrong somewhere along the lines. And it may be that you haven't done the maths properly here. You may have accidentally debited instead of credited when you were updating your ledger accounts. So those are the sorts of things to go back. Check that you've copied things onto the correct side. Go through the accounts, just check that your maths is correct with that and you've got the correct debit credit thing going over there. If all of that works out, then go back to your receipts and payments accounts. Because when we're looking at our cash payments and our cash receipts, so for example, this is our cash payments, do a double check that you haven't accidentally left off a zero of, say, for example, one of these numbers. It would be really easy to write down $150 there instead of $1,500. One way to check that is where you're going is that whatever you put in your bank, so that 4333 should equal all these other numbers added together. So that's a quick check to make sure that works out, and that equals that plus that plus that plus that plus that. If that doesn't, then go back further and see where you've gone. So for example, you may have taken out GST, but you've still written 575 there by accident. So just check through those sorts of things if your trial balance isn't balancing. Do remember though, in the end, if you can't find it, don't go in a complete panic. It can just be one thing that means it's not balancing.